Sometimes you post an image on social media and suddenly out of nowhere it goes viral. And that just happened to this image here. And a lot of people ask me, can you explain how you took it? So here's the video. On Monday, I posted this Milky Way shot out of an airplane on Instagram and on Facebook. And on Facebook, it gained around 4,000 likes. And on Instagram, it gained over 24,000 likes with over 600 comments, which is actually as well for me a lot of attention for one image. And a lot of people were impressed that it's actually one image, that it's not a composing, and that it as well was photographed handheld. And a lot of people were curious, how did you get that shot? What did you do? A lot of people did not believe that it was not a composite. They thought because of the reflections of the star of the airplane, they saw that it must be photoshopped in something. But I show you the raw files in this video and how I got that image. Let's start where everything began. We had a flight from Munich, Germany to Johannesburg in South Africa because me and my cameraman Ludwig were filming some nice video that you will see in the future on this YouTube channel in English language as well about the great white shark and me trying to photograph that amazing animal. Anyway, we were on the flight and it was around midnight, something 0:30 or something, and I just sat there. I was actually meditating because I'm into meditation again. I don't know if it has something to do with that, but I was super relaxed at that moment. I heard some nice music, some rain and ambient sound, and I looked out of the window. I had the window space. Ludwig was sitting next to me, and I looked out the window and I saw the stars, a clear sky, and then suddenly I saw that nice structures which reminded me of the Milky Way. And I thought, maybe is the Milky Way right next to the airplane on the left side. And I said to Ludwig, can you handle me the camera? And he was already almost sleeping and he said, okay. So he gave me the camera, I pointed it out and I just had some random settings. And sometimes the camera can capture more than your eyes can actually capture because of the high ISO. And I sometimes call the Sony cameras, especially the 7S, a night view camera because it can capture so much stuff in the night. So I pointed it out of the window and I saw, yes, after taking an image, it is definitely the Milky Way. So let's try to capture the airplane wing together with the Milky Way, but in one shot. But then I remembered myself, damn, usually you photograph Milky Way with a tripod and with a longer shutter speed, and that's why you use the tripod, that the image is not blurry. As well, the stars might get lines or stripes, star trailish things, because of the airplane that is moving. And then I looked at the monitor of the airplane and it said, you are almost 1,000 kilometers per hour fast. Incredible fast. With that in mind, I thought, let's try it. Why not give it a try? More than a blurry image, it cannot be. So I took my camera and for that I took the A7 III, so not the S. We had the S as a backup camera with me, but since maybe 3 months or 4 months, we're now filming with the Sony A7 III, which is quite affordable for a full-frame camera, but has very great ISO possibilities, just like the 7S. Almost the same, I would say, and it has a very nice picture profile, the HLG, while we are filming with this camera the YouTube videos now. As well, we have the 24 1.4 lens now for maybe 2 or 3 months. We tested it the first time in Norway and we were amazed by the autofocus combination with those two things here, and as well 1.4 with 24mm is great for star photography. So I took the camera, I pointed it out of the window and I went on f1.4. I went on half a second of shutter speed. And then I went on ISO, first I think 20,000, and I just tested the image, and I looked at the image, and it was bloody sharp. And that quite amazed me. And then I thought about, why is it sharp? And till today I have not an idea, because we were moving that fast. But as well, we were super high, not me, but the plane. And maybe because of that, Maybe we went with the Earth rotation or something, I have no idea. I'm not too much into physics, but maybe you know why it worked out. But usually the issue is that you shake yourself, and as well the plane is shaking, even if there are not turbulences or anything, but it's shaking by itself. So I tried with half a second and it worked out. Maybe because of the IBIS, the sensor stabilizer, which is in the camera. It's quite amazing, but I did not knew that you can make half a second handheld with the camera out of a plane, freaking 1000 kilometers per hour fast. But it worked out. Let's have a look at the raw files. This is the first image I took, but you can see there are some heavy reflections on the first image I took. This is because of the window, and usually you have a lot of reflections, and a lot of people on social media ask me, how did you get rid of the reflections? So the first thing was, it was at night, so half past midnight. That's usually the time when the plane is without light in the cabin, because people had meal and then they should sleep. So half past midnight is totally dark in the plane where you sit. We were on economy class and it was total dark. But still we have some bluish and whitish lights, and those were from the screens. I then tried with my hands to get rid of the reflection, but I had a better idea. I just took that neck pillow thing here and put it on the window. And then I just took the camera, put it through here of that neck thing, and then I did not have any reflections anymore. As simple as this. And here you can see, no reflections anymore, only the bluish light, but then I totally get rid of the reflection. Ludwig helped me with that. He hold the neck pillow and I hold the camera, so it was teamwork. But then I figured out another issue. The red signal light of the plane, which was lighting on the plane wing. And that looked ugly, so I needed the right shutter speed. Here I tried 1 second. That was great for the stars and for the exposure, but it was bad for the light because in 1 second the red light was showing off. And I needed to get rid of that red light, so I tried a different shutter speed, and then I recognized with half a second of shutter speed, and when I time it right, I can capture the airplane wing without the red light. And that was one of the first shots I said, boom! Nice! But I would say it's very nice. Look at the plane wing. It's a very nice wing and very nice Milky Way. And then I recognized, look at that amazing star or planet or whatever it is. If you have any idea, write it in the comments below, which had that nice thing around it. And that is what I learned, what the Sony lens, the 24mm, is famous for, that it has that nice star effect when you photograph stars. And that's the first time I actually tested it with the Milky Way. So yeah, I was quite blown away. So what I aimed for then is the right moment, where the red light is not showing, but where I have only the clean, darkish plane wing with the Milky Way behind it, because it looked much better. And yeah, it worked out, but then maybe 10 minutes later we flew over some volcano-ish scenery. No, it was actually just a village, I think, or something, or a town through the clouds, which looked like there is a volcano. So I could not take any more images afterwards. But I was satisfied already, so whatever. Now, how was it possible? We had several things to do, and if you want to recreate that image, you have to do a lot of things and have to take care of a lot of things. The camera and the lens itself is one thing. So you need a camera with a nice stabilization that you don't have to use a tripod. You need a camera with a lot of ISO with low noise, like the 7.3 or 7S by Sony. There might be some other cameras as well that can do that high of ISO. And then you need a very stable hand, you need a neck pillow, and you need an assistant that holds the neck pillow. That's of course very important as well. And then you need a window seat, but you need the window seat on the right side, because if I would sit on the other side of the plane, on the right side, in that case, I would not see the great part, the center of the Milky Way that I photographed on the left side of the plane. Then you need a night without a moon, so when the moon is up, you won't see the Milky Way. And that was luckily in that night. Then you need a dark plane as well, so it has to be after midnight that the cabin lights are off. And then you have to be, of course, in some area where it's very dark and you don't have any villages or any cities shining from below, like, for example, Africa. And if you have everything together, you can take that great image as well. Yes, I have to say, it's a lot of luck that happened there, but I saw my opportunity when I saw the Milky Way out of the plane window. I then used the gear I have, the technique and the possibilities we have in today's cameras, which is quite amazing. Think about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, that would not really be possible with the camera at that time. Maybe the 7S it would be possible. In 2016, maybe you've seen the video on this YouTube channel, I did something similar with Northern Lights. I filmed Northern Lights out of a plane as well. When we flew to Norway, we were lucky, but at that time I asked the cabin crew, can you please turn the lights down that I can film without reflections out of the window? And they actually did. That was amazing. The crew, shout out to Norwegian Airlines, which did that. And I was able to film in 2016 the Northern Lights handheld out of a plane. But that was the A7S II. But now with, let's say, an entry full-frame camera, that is possible, not video, but handheld still photography, not the Northern Lights, but the Milky Way out of a plane. And I always say, if you want images nobody has, you have to do things that nobody does. And in this case, you have to try to photograph the Milky Way out of an airplane with 1000 kilometers per hour of speed. And it worked out. So, nice! It's very nice. Have you tried something crazy in photography as well, where you maybe thought, it's not possible, but then tried it out and recognized, whoa, it is actually very nice? Then just write it in the comments as well. And amongst all people that write a comment, I will give away, quick commercial, one of my video courses at learnfromben.com. This is my website, and there we got video courses that you can learn photography, like landscape photography. All the essentials about landscape photography. We actually filmed in the beautiful landscape of Norway. You can win that course by writing a comment, or you can just buy the course. That would be also very nice. You can then support my work. Anyway, if I should do another video maybe about any image or something, just write it in the comments below. Maybe check out my Instagram, check out the image I've just shown you on Instagram or on Facebook. Hit like, hit the following button, and then we see us on Instagram, Facebook, or here on that amazing English-speaking YouTube channel of mine. I see you in the future. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I say bye-bye and very nice.